Hello and welcome to Big Red Journeys, and on today's journey we're going to check out the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum here. It's a beautiful exhibit of this famous works of Chihuly, very famous glass artist, and he's got his work all over the place and it's very beautiful. So we're going to go check it out. Should be about a 45-minute to an hour tour, so come along. The video won't be that long, but that's how long it should take us to walk through. Anyways, let's go. You see admissions right now, so the general admission is $35. 26 for youth, seniors 30. If you're a resident of King County, it's 29. 6 p.m. the closing is a little bit cheaper for you, a few dollars less. And of course, there are package types as well. If you went to the Needle earlier, you can add this on to your ticket package. I believe it was only an extra $10. But we ended up getting the City Pass, which again is $120, and it gets you this one, the Space Needle, Woodland Park, and a few other attractions. Best deal in the world for you. Starting off with a little timeline of Dale Chihuly, who was actually born in Tacoma, Washington. So native to the area, very nice, known for his glass artwork. And there's just a few examples of what we can expect to see here. The photo reminds me of like those guys, like the directors who's trying to frame the item in view. Commissioned by Barney's of New York in 2015 for its holiday window display on Madison Avenue, Winter Brilliance is a joyful expression of both his namesake season and Chihuly's desire to present his work in unexpected and dramatic ways. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of crystals, like crystal structures, like what you might potentially see like in geodes. Very pretty though. Okay, next room over here. Oh, I see we have some textiles against the wall as well too. Very Native American feels here. Some interwoven baskets, some reed baskets mixed in with some of his glass work. Some right here on this very long wood carved table. I see. Okay, so the glass, the way I feel is that it really mimics the shape of the baskets like we see right there. Same colors, the sand tone colors, the lines of like the straw leaves and reeds, they intertwine into the glass. This is pretty as can be. It's just like an explosion of water. Look at, you got nautiluses, you see sea stars, sea urchins, fish, rays, flounders, halibut, oh my god, octopus. Look at the beauty, how gorgeous it is. So this is the sea life room, so everything here is inspired by the marine life. Beautiful one here of an octopus over some coral. So I believe these are actually the original sketch work that he creates on paper, putting what his vision is to paper, and then of course later from paper to glass. This one you got some Dungeness crabs. Love the gold that's into the shell. It's like some sort of eels, like moray eels, or also even hagfish actually. The way that they look on top of an urchin. Well, moving on to this room. Look at this. This reminds me of the Bellagio. Have you ever been into the lobby of the Bellagio? It has the world's largest art piece made of glass. And this is all connected. Now these are obviously not connected, they're just various pieces of art glass put together. But the one in the Bellagio, all the art piece, all the glass art is connected. But this reminds me, look at the beautiful colors coming through on the light. I'm setting you all up for the shot. Ready? There it is. There's the shot, guys, right there. I'm calling Willy Wonka, is what I'm calling, because it looks like you're in his candy factory. It looks like everything's edible or eatable or however you pronounce it. It's like a forest. I mean, I don't know. I know art is always in the eye of the beholder. Whatever is pretty or whatever pleases you, what you make sense of it is up to you. I feel like, either my first glance was like Willy Wonka, like his candy factory, right? You got big gumballs and everything. Or honestly, possibly some sort of like garden under the sea, bright, beautiful corals, polyps, flowers. Some of these represent kelp, some represent fish. Some of those spiky ones in the middle might represent some urchins. I don't know, it all depends on what you yourself feel is best. Two boats full of glass here. This one's got large orbs on this one. And shells. This one reminds me of like the buoys you find in the ocean. And then shells and various creatures and things pulled up from the bottom of the deep, including some dragon fruit. That one right there looks like dragon fruit to me. Some very beautiful chandeliers up there. Looks like a big old sun. A very pretty white one there with a tower coming up and almost touching the white chandelier on top. Pretty green one. And a red one here as well too. I love the speckled red. Very pretty, very pretty. This is the Macchia Forest, series in '81. I guess this one, his desire was to use all 300 colors available to him in his hot shop, and named it such after asking his friend Italo Scanga the word for spot in Italian. So there you go. And yes, all these bases and vases and canisters and cups or whatever you want to call them, all have lots and lots of colors. Well, that's going to take it from the in-house to the outhouse. Sorry, I should say the glass house, really. And of course, we'll head up to the bookstore and exit later, as all things usually do. And there is also a bar at the Chihuly Garden and Glass, now open. Restrooms are over here as well. And here is the bar with some Chihuly glass as well. Oh, look at this, with a roof full of accordions. Interesting. There's some eclectic art going on. Oh, those are those little clay art pieces, the ones you can get across the border. I've had many of banks that look like this, including that Donald Duck over there. And looks like we got a nice little full bar here. Lots of whiskeys, tequilas, rums, everything. Beer on tap as well. It looks like they can make you anything you would like. Hey, here's an example. Here's a couple items, both small items, bites, soup, salads, plates, sweets, non-alcoholic of course, and some signature cocktails. Even the tables have unique vintage and antique pieces. This one had like fishing gear items, that one had clocks. Oh look, old shaving brushes. Going out to the glass house and glass house sculpture. The glass house is the centerpiece of the Chihuly Garden and Glass Garden. Throughout his career, Chihuly dreamed of working on the design for glass housing artwork within it. This is the first opportunity he had and realized to dream. So this as well too is a Chihuly design. Amazing. Oh, and look at that beautiful view of the Needle as well. That's very pretty. And look at this. We were wondering, well, who would have done such a thing? But it's most likely Dale Chihuly's own signature. I mean, that looks like Chihuly right there, and some one-of-a-kind piece that he drew right there, dated May 21st, 2012. But look at this. We have a gentleman here who's doing some glass beading at the moment, some glass work.
Material, which is amazing. I actually recently read about the world's first carbon-neutral glass blowing shop. It's in New Zealand.
Up next, the Chandelier Walkway. So called because it's a walkway and they're chandeliers. Name appropriate. But there's still some beautiful ones here. Some of Chihuly's artwork here in this garden, built into the leaves and plants and trees around. Honestly, it makes it almost look alive on its own, like it's, you know, that's a tree or a bush in its own right. The blue is really nice, very pretty. And I mean, look, you got the backdrop of the Needle right behind. It's a great sight, very beautiful. Definitely worth the additional enhancement to get this as part of your ticket package. Looks like the type of spikes that Indiana Jones would try to avoid. Oh, I like this one, the added touch of green and gold colors. It's actually, from camera, it actually looks like it's actually part of the plant. You know, it looks very natural. So that's a beautiful picture right there. Look at that. Well, you know what my favorite color is, so anything that pops out like that is beautiful. Looks like a big gummy bear. And Now these really do look like they're part of the garden. Kind of look like big old zucchinis or something. What I'm interested in is how are they embedded into the ground so well, because, you know, I'm assuming maybe built onto concrete, because, you know, the weather, I would imagine at some point some of these taller ones and thinner ones might fall over with some of the weather that Seattle can get. This one looks like an octopus coming out from the garden. There's his head, all the different tentacles coming up. And there are some beautiful flowers of the real variety as well too, so definitely stop to give them a smell. This one could have fooled me. This one literally looked like a tree. And it wasn't until the top that I was like, oh no, that's glass. Down here, that should look like normal. Wow. Look at the coloration once you go put it against a blue backdrop. Wow. And including this one, it looks like a big old rock candy sculpture. But then I realized, you know what? I think it's supposed to mimic the sky tower, the needle, if I had to take a guess. So there's a theater as well. We'll be quiet when we enter in. Oh, there it is. Just a little theater that talks about his artwork. And with that being said, that's going to be it. Now it's off back to the lobby. And of course, as all things do, they try to take more of your money with the gift shop. They actually got some pretty cool looking shirts over here. If you fell in love with any of the pieces of art here. Couldn't tell you which ones specifically are those pieces of art, but I mean, that's a pretty shirt with all the colors. Well, it looks like you can buy some limited edition reprints of some of his originals. Hot Apples 2019 piece for $37.25. Western Seaforms 2001, that's for $20.10. This one is $35.25. Sterling Floats 2022. Oh, this red one. Oh, how appropriate of a name. Unfortunately, it's sold, and not to me, unfortunately. And if you did actually want to own a piece of your own Chihuly, there are some art pieces here. Various pieces. I don't know which one strikes your fancy. Let me know in the comments below. But these are actually made by him and his studio team. Well, that is going to do it for today's journey here at the Chihuly Garden. I had a great time. I hope you did as well too. Art truly is in the eye of the beholder, and what I beheld today was amazing. You know, the way the light hits the glass works, the colors that were used, how there was form in nature, you know, life. It was very, like, some of these pieces look like they're moving, like they're alive, and that's amazing work and a credit to Chihuly, Dale Chihuly himself. So definitely, I'm glad we had a stop. If you enjoyed the video, I hope if you ever get a chance to come to Seattle, you make this as a part of your itinerary to come visit. And also, if you liked something, please like the video, give it a big thumbs up for me. Second, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And third, hit the notification bell. Have a lot more journeys headed your way, including those from Washington here for my trip to Seattle. And of course, follow me on social media at Big Red Journeys on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for even more content. And of course, from me to you, thank you. And then I'll see you on the next journey. Bye-bye now.